team. But they're just watching a great match between two masters.
Yeah, really, they're all good friends when they're not playing pool against one another. They're playing golf with one another.
Johnny Archer, no mean golfer. Corey Jewell taking the game up and enjoying it. And obviously, a little bit of fresh air never hurt anybody. And I should think now Mark Williams has just about reached the first hole after playing 7 or 8 decent hacks. And he's now going to 3-putt for an 11.
Well, if he's like me, the most critical part of his golf game is taking enough golf balls to the course to complete the 18.
Golf and snooker and pool, all similar games. You must have no more than 200 thoughts on your backswing. Ooh, he's gone a bit close to the middle, but he's okay.
Still a fairly open table here. A little bit clustered up. 6, 7, and 9 are kind of tight, but should not present much of a problem. Boy, you know Archer would like to see a break happen where there's some balls tied up.
Well, got to get back to the table somehow. It was a 5-ball mistake that led him back in last time. No problems with that one. And you can't really say that there's any problems for the rest of this rack. 7-4. It's a race to 9. The last 64 here at Cardiff. It goes up to race to 11, I think, for the last 16, and the final is a race to 17. A true test, other than the fact that people would like it always to be longer to make sure that that luck element was taken out of the equation, but still the greatest test of 9-ball in the world, and Reyes has proven the master of most of those tests, and I think in his time has probably won just about everything.
When Reyes completes this rack, he will have matched Archer's effort of running 4 racks in a row. This will be the 4th consecutive rack for Reyes.
Totally different pattern of play we're seeing here as Reyes knocks his ball in.
Well, Johnny continues to rest in the chair while Reyes gets to exercise his arm and keep it warm. That's the terrible thing about Johnny being in that position. The arm just gets colder and colder, and the confidence factor now as Reyes gets close to 9 racks, the confidence goes away on Archer's side and the tension starts to set in.
Well, obviously it's not like Efren Reyes has clincher's disease. He can get over the line whenever he needs to, so Archer's hoping that something goes wrong off a break off, but we are seeing a pattern emerging, a slightly different pattern from the alternate breaks from the league phase to now winner breaks, that players are starting to win racks in blocks, and then you've got to have the mental strength to try and get yourself back into it. Counter punching.
I'm curious to watch this break, Steve, because now that Reyes has a bit of a lead, will he pull off the break shot a little bit and try and gain control for sure of the cue ball?
And to make sure he just doesn't lose control, or will he give it everything and try and win the match in one visit, so to speak? If he can get to 8-4, he's definitely a favourite.
Well, it looks like he tapped it pretty good.
Oh, he's got a result there.
Oh, man.
Monstrous result.
And Archer's was just in his chair, just shaking his head at that result. He thought he was going to get to come to the table, and at the last moment, an alley opens up.
Oh. You know, you sit in your chair and you're sort of watching 8 or 9 balls whizzing around the table. Your brain's like sort of all over the place. Your eyes are flicking around, seeing where there could be a problem for the other guy. He must have thought he was in with a chance there.
Johnny's quite frustrated at that when those 2 balls collided in that manner. If they'd collided at a little bit of an angle, they would have gone down that line to block the 1 ball.
This game sends you mad. Oh, yeah. Totally mad. Round the bend.
I'm looking for a problem. I don't see one.
Well, we didn't see one when Efren missed. Ooh.
Boy, oh boy, he is really playing it tight.
Every shot, effectively, is easy on a 9-ball pool table. Very rarely do you have to play a difficult shot. It's just the accumulation of easy shots. If you take your foot off the gas, so to speak, mentally relax for a split second.
Well, you see Efren, he just crossed himself because he bobbled that ball. It just barely went down. He struck both faces of that corner pocket to send that ball home. Take a look. Watch the pink. Boom, 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 boom.
I thought it might be because he's exactly on the 5 where he was before.
6 ball going to the corner, Steve. He's going to send the cue ball back across the table. Pick the 7 ball in the same pocket.
He's going to be a break off away from getting through what would be a difficult opening match of this knockout phase here. And I'm sure if we get a chance to talk to him at some stage, he will say how relieved he is to have got through Johnny Archer. But
and just think about this from Archer's perspective. He's made 2 mistakes. He lost the lag, and then he missed a ball. And that's it.
Well, Mark Williams only made 2 or 3 mistakes, and he lost 9-0. It doesn't take many mistakes. It's a bit like a boxing match. 1 mistake, and you're on the floor. I only made 1 mistake. It's just when I didn't have my right guard a bit too low. Well, that's not ideal. That is missable. You don't want to be queuing over a middle pocket. You'll get it, but it's he's a bit frustrated with his position.
Yeah, he's very unhappy with his little lapse there, queuing over a pocket. Oh, he's missed it.
Well, that is a sign of pressure, and he's talked himself into missing that. Wow, what a big moment that is. He's banged at that ball. If he'd have stroked it, it would have gone in along that line. He knew it was a mistake, and at this level, even though that was a very gettable shot, he knows that that's a critical position he's left himself in.
Well, you could see the queuing error. The cue ball was bouncing down the table.
Well, his body was moving on the shot.
Right.
He was already up in the air, panicking
Right.
about getting the ball in, and he knew that was the big shot.
Hold on, please.
He shouldn't have been anywhere near that part of the pocket with the cue ball. And Archer, well, he's been given a dog's chance once again.
Well, he's been sitting in that chair now for 4 racks, almost 5. 1 ball short of 5 racks, and now he's got to come to the table and make a long cut shot. He's made it.
Johnny Archer recovers once again from the brink and gives himself the chance of turning the tables on that man, Efren Reyes. Who's going to win this one? One player has reached this stage of the tournament producing class pull, the other has struggled, and the man that has struggled comes to the table, albeit 7-5 behind, but with the break.
And with momentum. And he's got to feel really good about just having a chance to come to the table. He thought he was done.
The 2 big mistakes so far have been by Efren Reyes, the missed 5 ball and that lack of position on the 9, which caused and forced the error of the 9 ball miss. Are they going to come and haunt Efren Reyes? Oh, he's got a bad kick on
he's gotten a
the
kick
1 there, and it's lost position somewhat on the 1. He's made a ball, so he retains at the table. Has he made a ball? Has he made a ball?
Yeah, he's made a ball.
Yes. No, he hasn't.
Oh, no, you're right. It's hanging in the corner. It's Reyes
Oh,
at
yes.
the table. I thought that ball had gone down, and it just stopped right there on the shelf of the pocket.
He gets so used to them always making a ball. That's the first time anybody's come up dry, I think. So the luck not with Johnny Archer. Now, can Reyes rectify his mistake by getting straight in amongst the balls? That's a great shot, but is he going to be punished? Well, he's got some spin on there to stop that going behind the 9.
Yeah, but I'm not sure he has a shot on the 2. Does the 2 pass the 6 for the corner? Or does it pass the 3 ball for the other corner?
No, but he's got options. You know,
Oh, yeah.
he could play a very clever shot here. Try and bank the 2 ball up and down the table and hit the 5. He could play a safety shot. He's got a few options to play here, and he's playing the conservative shot. No risk involved in that. Asking the questions of Johnny Archer.
I'm a little surprised he left that much distance between the cue ball and the 6. He's given Johnny more navigating room than
Excuse me, please.
I might imagine that he would
Settle
have.
down over there. Thank you.
Bit of movement in the crowd. Our referee, Michaela Tab, stopping them from moving around. This game of 9-ball pool is a slightly different atmosphere. There's a bit more razzmatazz around, especially in the evening sessions. but even so, you don't want unnatural movements in the crowd.
Well, someone violated Michaela's cell phone rule, and you do not break the rules in Michaela's room.
Referees not just 9-ball pool, but now referees on the snooker circuit, and was in action at the Crucible this year, first time. Thoroughly enjoyed the experience. Got a couple of column inches in the papers, only a few minor middle page pull-outs. Good referee though, and goes about her business as you would expect a top-class referee to do. Authoritative.
Extraordinarily, sir. You see what Johnny Archer is measuring. It's very, very obvious. He wants to hit this point on that rail, which will send him into a contact with the 2-ball. Is what happens after the contact. I think the contact's almost automatic.
Well, yeah. I mean, the trouble is this level, Johnny Archer's has got to try and work out a way of getting them safe. He'll be trying to hit a certain part of that too. Such is the standard of escaping from these shots. They try and make a ball off of the cushion. It's not come out well.
Yeah, he's not going to be happy with this. He's going to be really unhappy with what he comes to the table with next time.
Well, obviously this orange 5 is begging to be made. As long as he makes contact with the 2, he can obviously knock the 5 in somehow. Will he play some sort of combination, or does he not then know where the 2-ball's going to go?
Yeah, I don't like that. I would.
No, you're right. Yes, he's going to try and play with running spin and then off the cushion and contact the 5 and then send the cue ball down towards the 2.
That's a brilliant shot.
Yeah, but
it didn't work.
Exactly. He got too much spin on the cue ball, and the cue ball chased up the table too fast for his liking. 2 went back up the table as the cue ball was coming back down.
Yeah, the brilliant part of that shot was he sent the cue ball in the same direction down the table as the 2-ball, so they should have stayed together and he should have wound up with a shot. Instead, he has a bank shot to worry about.
Oh, well, that's a killer. A killer from Manila.
Manila, okay.
Fair enough. Thanks, I'm sure it's been done. Yeah, I just had to say it once. But you know, what quality of that's a very important shot to be able to play. Well, it was a killer from Manila.
Yes, it was.
If ever you were going to say it, that was the time to say it, surely.
Oh,
okay.
Watch the side pocket here. Oh, he's got it clear. All right. Efren looking pretty good here.
Not only the ability to play positional play, but banking balls and guaranteeing to bank them, knowing full well if you miss, you could lose the match. There's another discipline that you have to be a master of. Spinning the cue ball round the table. A couple of... Oh, no, perhaps no, sorry. Just holding it in the top of the table for the 7. I've got my order of balls mixed up then. Coming back down the table now for the 8.
Has a really easy job here to get on the 8. The question will be, how does he land on the 8 to travel back up table for the 9-ball?
And once again, Efren Reyes being let off the hook slightly by the misfortune of Johnny Archer not making a ball on the break.
The break shot is the critical shot in 9-ball at this level. On the amateur level, you might come to the table several times in a single game, but not with these boys. And Efren Reyes now 1 game away from sending Johnny Archer back to the United States.
A tournament that Efren Reyes would love to win again, to prove he's the master. He's not just the player's favourite, he'd like to be considered the all-time best pool player. What better way than to once again win this pool tournament that has made its home here in the UK on Sky TV, and the EmpirePoker.com World Championship beamed around to over 60 countries around the world, and Cardiff is now firmly on the map as far as world 9-ball pool is concerned.
Steve, we got to remember that Reyes cannot relax now. He's only got 1 more game, but If he gives up the table, Archer's already run 4 racks once in this set, and that's all he has to do a game. Reyes
14,
probably
Efren Reyes to break,
concentrating terribly hard on this break shot.
End of match if Reyes can break and run out. The game of 9-ball. Hit the lowest ball on the table and make the 9.
To watch, could you please do that?
And
thank you.
Oh.
Michaela setting some more fans perfectly straight.
That's not the best break in the world.
No, and I don't see anything going down.
And perhaps just a little bit of anticipation that he's one break away meant that somehow he didn't connect right with the cue. And with the ball, a little bit of spin on the ball, and if you don't transfer the power from the cue ball through to the 1 ball and through the rest of the pack, don't connect with the 1 ball full enough, perhaps put a bit of spin on the ball, and all of a sudden you don't get the same reaction through the pack and you don't make a ball.
You know, Steve, this could be an interesting rack. That 7 and 8 ball are tied up.
This is the rack we were talking about.
It could be.
The rack where the tactical nuances of the game come into play, and the person that wins it could then go on to win the match. Obviously, if Reyes wins, he's over. But if Archer can get the break off, then he can certainly run another couple of racks.
Yeah, one thing for certain, Efren Reyes has struck his last break shot of this match. The next time that the 9 ball goes down under his cue, it'll be the last time. And by the way, the reason that these players are so picky about having a clean, boy, that was close, a clean cue ball is there's a piece of chalk on that cue ball when it strikes the object ball. It can cause the balls to take a different course than the one that had been imagined. And look how close this shot was.
Good speed on that, so it was always going to die in the pocket. Give up. This is not, as we've mentioned, a guaranteed run out. Okay, 2, 3 hanging over the pocket. 4 is the 4, 8, 7 combination a possibility. If not, he's got to play the 4 into the top right. 5's hanging over the pocket. 6, but then the problem is the 7 and the 8.
And that's a big problem. Now he's in position if he wanted to nudge those balls right here, but then he's taking a big chance on the 4.
Obviously, if he can play very softly with the 3 to leave himself an angle on the 4, in potting the 4 he can shift the 8 and the 7 apart and he will naturally be on the 5.
Good.
Can he play it soft enough?
Well, he sees the shot that you're talking about there, Stephen.
The only problem is, the sacrifice he has to make for doing this is leaving himself further away from the 5 to then get on the 6. But it's a shot he has to play. Guaranteed to split these balls up. But don't hit them too hard, because if he did hit them too hard, somehow, possibly that 7 could bounce off a cushion, snooker him on the 5. You've got to be a bit careful with this one.
No, I think he would like to leave that 7 ball right down near the rail.
Just picking that ball out of the pocket and putting it in another one so it's not in his field of vision when he's queuing over the pocket. Sort of little habit some players have. Oh, we knew that was horrible.
Oh boy.
No.
Oh boy.
The way he played that. Ugh.
That's the last place he wanted that cue ball to wind up. He not only a straight line, he's jacked up over the 7.
Well, he wanted to keep the 7 over the hole, but he should have hit it harder if he thought that was going to be the end result. But I mean, how do you predict these balls? You win and lose by predicting the outcomes of how the balls react with each other. But this is the same as playing a jump shot, as if there was a ball in the way. He's going to have to jack up in the air, hit down on the ball. That will apply backspin. Now the backspin, if he connects right, will obviously stop him from rolling through into the pocket, but he'd like to get some backspin on enough to screw back for the 6. This is the biggest shot of this match.
Well, he's pocketed the 5, but boy, what a tough shot to have to finish out the rack on with That's 6 ball. He's right on what we call the 50-yard line, Steve.
Yeah, well, the best he could have hoped for. That was he screwed it back. It was a great shot. It really was. I think probably a little bit tentative in not giving it everything for fear of missing the pot. He had to make sure the 5, he can cut the 6 in. The cue ball won't go in off in the middle pocket, but he's got to play it slow enough that he doesn't go down the table and not be on the 7. So rolling this ball slower, there's an element that the tension in his arm could come into play. If the 5 ball was the biggest shot of this match, the 6 ball is now even bigger.
You'll watch the 6 ball coming right at you, and he has missed this shot. Efren Reyes now 4 balls away from progressing. Watch it coming at you.
You can't get a tougher shot at 9 ball into an open pocket, not down the rail, unmissable down the rail. Ooh. He didn't want it to go there, but he's smiling. Now he's got a smile on his face, Efren. He knows he's won it, even though he's out of position slightly. Or was that a smile, or was that a grimace?
Well,
it's
no,
tough to say.
He's back in that situation now where he can afford to smile at an error.
Could have been wind, could have been a grimace.
Could have been, could have been.
Well, he's not ideal on that.
No, he's not. He's awfully straight on this.
Well, he's making hard work of this one. Has he got an angle to screw back?
Well, he's not screwing back, though.
Oh, he had an angle. Oh, well. Great match. Efren Reyes was asked the questions of having a tough first round opponent, and he's answered them.
Efren Reyes taking it home, and after an extremely difficult tournament, Johnny Archer, who just barely scooped through the preliminaries, will go no further. Efren Reyes, however, can look forward to his next match on his long, long journey to the top and to the championship of the world.